And we're here in the Doubletree Hotel in Westboro, Massachusetts, the aftermath. You can see the aftermath of a jam-packed crowd that was riveted. That's the key word today, Casey. Riveted
Excellent.
by the presentation of author Casey Sherman. Casey, so many authors are great writers, but don't know how to, what I call, sell books. Obviously, you've proven today that the capability to schlep is very important.
As I said, you really have to be a salesman and an author at the same time. As an author, you're thinking, how do I grab that reader? How do I grab that reader in the first paragraph, in the first sentence? As a speaker, you have to have that same mentality. You want every set of eyes in the house on you, every set of ears in the house on you. And that's what you try to do. That's what I try to do every time I speak to an audience. I know that they may not be interested in the subject matter when they sit down, but after they leave, they're going to be thinking about that speech all day.
Now, one of the byproducts of having that capability to deliver is that you sold just about every book that your publishers brought with you today. That's got to be a great feeling when you're sitting on that autograph table and you look to the left and you can't see the end of the line.
I certainly love those kind of experiences, and it really is about those people coming up and seeing in their eyes that you've made a connection with that person through your speech. You know that you've every emotional point you tried to set across and make across during that speech really resonated with these people. And to see them come up and be thankful and to say that they were riveted by the speech that I gave, really, you know, as I said, as a storyteller, I'm the son of an Irish storyteller. I know how important it is to grab that audience and keep them entertained, keep them interested, keep them enthused, and then you're always building your audience. Some people here didn't know my name when they walked through these doors, but now when my next book comes out, they're going to be looking for Casey Sherman.
Now, what were some of the comments that you may have heard today?
The one word that keeps coming up is riveting. You know, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Several times as I was discussing my bestseller, The Finest Hours, I got emotional recounting how I came to write that book and the relationships that I built with the heroes of that book. And as I looked out in the audience, I actually saw people wiping tears away, and I knew those weren't tears of boredom. I knew I had struck an emotional chord with that audience member.
If an audience, if a speaker / author gets emotional, is that a sign of weakness during your delivery?
No, that's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign that you have connected with the story, that you're passionate about the stories you tell. If I got up and wasn't passionate and described in a very monotone way my book and what it was about and how I wrote it, you know, I could see people, you know, dozing off in the audience. I want to get people as passionate about the content and my stories as I am.
Okay, Casey, I was watching the audience. I love to watch audiences because their eyes are kind of like the windows to their souls. There was no stirring of coffee. There was no one getting up to use the restrooms. As an author, are you watching the audience as well?
I'm subconsciously trying to watch the audience, trying to look into the eyes of audience members. A lot of writers and speakers will get up and they're so quick to deliver their speech and get off stage that those speeches never resonate with the audience members. You want to, it's a performance. You want to perform these stories for the crowd. You're a storyteller. You want to reach, you know, that, as I said, that emotional connection. I'm looking at the eyes in the audience. Those eyes are on me. Those eyes are waiting to see what I'm going to talk about next and how it's really going to affect the rest of their day. I know that they are going to take those stories they heard today and tell their friends about it when they get to work.
Well, I was watching the audience and saw that their interest, but I also noticed when people came up, especially when you're talking about the maritime story, that they were saying, I have someone in the Coast Guard that I'm going to buy this book for. That's got to be kind of uplifting for you.
When I gave a speech to the U.S. Coast Guard Command in Washington, D.C., the Vice Admiral came up to me and said, you know, we consider you a beacon of the Coast Guard. And what that means is You are a storyteller. You tell the stories of what we do every day, and without you, we wouldn't be the maritime branch that we are. So I take that responsibility very seriously. And when I hear that someone was in the Coast Guard, or I'm signing a book for somebody in the Coast Guard, that makes it even more special for me, because they understand what those men went through the night that they became heroes.
And why don't you describe it? Give us the title of that book, and where our viewers on this Facebook piece and LinkedIn piece can pick up all over the country, actually all over the world.
All over the world. The book is called The Finest Hours, the daring true story of the U.S. Coast Guard's most amazing rescue. It can be picked up on Amazon, in any bookstore in America, in your local library. It's a story about real heroes facing overwhelming odds in the winter of 1952. It's Saving Private Ryan meets the perfect storm. 84 men trapped at sea in a perfect storm-sized weather event. And how they're rescued that night is one of those overwhelming, incredible stories that you read it and it just defies imagination, but it really happened.
And while you're